There comes a sacred point in the journey of every chosen soul when you begin to see the truth behind the illusions. You start realizing that much of what the world glorifies as holy, moral, or good is often a disguise, a carefully crafted mask to keep people asleep, obedient, and controllable. When your eyes open, when your soul remembers its divine mission, you no longer fit into the mold. You begin to challenge old systems, question false doctrines, and expose the corruption hiding behind the curtains of authority. And that's when the war begins, not with swords and blood, but with silence, slander, and manipulation. Because the moment a chosen one awakens, the false lights begin to tremble. You become a mirror that reflects their hidden motives, and they can no longer pretend to be what they are not. Before we dive deep into this message, I ask you to do something sacred. If this truth finds you at the exact time you needed it most, type 1111 in the comments section for divine blessings and alignment. It is a sign that you are not here by accident. You are part of a spiritual awakening that is shaking the foundations of deception. And if you are new here, subscribe and join our growing family of awakened souls walking the path of truth, power, and divine awareness. Now, let us reveal the 9 ways the church, religion, and society silently fight the chosen ones, those who came not to follow the system, but to expose it. 1. They label you as a rebel or heretic. The first way they fight a chosen one is by giving you a name that makes others fear you. Throughout history, those who carried divine truth, Jesus, Socrates, Joan of Arc, even modern truth seekers, were branded as rebels, heretics, or even madmen. The system does this to protect its own power. The moment you start questioning tradition, you threaten the foundation of a world built on blind obedience. You expose the hypocrisy that lies beneath the polished words of authority. You remind people that truth does not belong to institutions, but to the spirit that speaks within every awakened soul. And because they cannot silence your wisdom, they demonize your image. They paint you as dangerous, unfaithful, or delusional, so that others will turn away before hearing the message you carry. They'll say you've fallen from faith, or that you are being used by dark forces, but this is nothing new. The same voices that crucified Christ now crucify truth in every generation. The real darkness is not within you. It is within the institutions that cannot stand the light you carry. You are not rebellious against God. You are rebellious against the cages men have built around His truth. Every label they throw at you is proof that you are doing something divine. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken. And those who fear awakening will always call light dangerous. 2. They twist your words and message. A chosen one's message is never meant to please everyone. It's meant to awaken, to shake the sleepers from their comfort and ignite the spark of remembrance within their souls. But awakening is rarely comfortable, so they twist your words to make you sound dangerous or blasphemous. They take fragments of your truth and strip them of their divine context. They'll repeat what you said, but not what you meant. They'll take your call for liberation and turn it into rebellion. Your message of empowerment becomes pride. Your wisdom becomes arrogance. This is not misunderstanding, it's manipulation. It's the deliberate distortion of light to protect the comfort of darkness. Religious leaders did it to prophets. Governments did it to revolutionaries. Philosophers and poets have all suffered this fate. Even those closest to you, friends, family, mentors, may misinterpret your message because it challenges the illusions they've built their lives upon. People would rather twist your truth than face it. But understand this, if your message were harmless, they wouldn't fight it. They twist it because it's powerful, because deep down they sense its truth threatens their chains. Let them misquote you. Let them mock you. Time will reveal the spirit behind your words. For divine truth does not need defense. It simply waits until those who twisted it are forced to confront its undeniable light. 3. They use fear to control the masses against you. The easiest way to turn people against a chosen one is through fear. The church will say, if you listen to them, you'll be cursed. Society will whisper, if you follow their path, you'll be rejected. Religion will warn, they are deceivers. These words are not born from truth. They are born from control. Fear has always been the oldest weapon of manipulation. It's the invisible chain that keeps humanity enslaved, even when the cage no longer exists. But what they forget is that the chosen one was born through fire. Fear cannot touch your soul. You've already walked through darkness and survived. Their threats may shake the weak-minded, but they only refine your faith. They use fear to isolate you, to make you question your path, to make others distance themselves so that you stand alone. But what they call loneliness is actually divine intimacy. The chosen walk a solitary path because only in silence can divine strength grow. Each time you stand firm in love, truth, and light, their control weakens. People begin to see that fear was the illusion all along. They notice that your peace defies their threats, and suddenly the spell breaks. Fear loses its grip when someone stands unshaken. That is your power. Not to fight them, but to remain fearless while they tremble in the presence of your calm. Because courage, not fear, is the true language of the divine. 4. They exile you spiritually and socially. When they cannot destroy you, they isolate you. You'll notice how people suddenly withdraw, how the same community that once praised you now looks at you with suspicion or silent disdain. They stop calling, stop inviting, stop acknowledging you altogether. But what feels like rejection is actually a sacred redirection. The exile of a chosen one is not punishment, it's purification. It's the universe separating you from noise, so you can hear divine instruction clearly. The chosen walk alone because their frequency is too high for the average soul. Many cannot stand the mirror you hold up to their illusions, so they leave. They say you've changed, but in truth, you've evolved. The path of solitude forces you to depend on no man's validation, no system's approval. It strips you of dependency and trains you to receive wisdom directly from source. That is why every great prophet, mystic, and visionary experienced exile. It's where their power matured. So when they push you out, don't fight to stay in. They are unknowingly setting you free from their control. You are being shifted from belonging to becoming. The divine often hides its treasures in loneliness, because only there can a chosen one's soul be purified from the need to be understood. What they call exile is actually your elevation. 5. They copy your light, then claim it as their own. One of the most deceptive tactics they use is imitation. They'll take your words, your tone, your message, and then repackage it under their own name. Suddenly, the same people who mocked you for your truth begin repeating your teachings, claiming them as their revelation. They copy your essence because they have none of their own. They are attracted to your light but terrified to admit its source. They steal from the awakened to maintain their illusion of authority in a world that's slowly awakening. They quote you, rephrase you, and mimic your authenticity. Yet something always feels hollow about their version. And that's because divine energy cannot be replicated by those who do not live it. They can imitate your form, but they cannot mirror your frequency. The chosen one's anointing is not transferable, it's divine. You were chosen not just to speak truth, but to embody it. Let them imitate, let them pretend. Every counterfeit only confirms the value of the original. In time, their borrowed words will fade because imitation cannot sustain divine vibration. The truth in you will continue to expand while theirs will crumble. You are not here to compete with imitators, you are here to reveal authenticity. And the world always recognizes the original light when the false copies burn out. 6. They attack your character, not your message. When they realize they cannot disprove your truth, they shift the battlefield. They start attacking your past, your flaws, and your humanity. They dig up mistakes, twist half-truths, and turn your imperfections into weapons. They know they cannot silence your message, so they try to poison how people perceive you. This is how the world treats its prophets. It does not listen, it slanders. The church did it to Mary Magdalene, rewriting her story to diminish her power. Society did it to Martin Luther King Jr., labeling him immoral to distract from his message of liberation. They did it to every voice that challenged their illusion. But here lies the hidden blessing. When they attack your character, they reveal their weakness. For only those who cannot confront truth resort to gossip. The chosen one's strength lies not in pretending to be perfect, but in being transparent. You never claimed holiness. You claimed authenticity. Your flaws are not evidence against your calling. They are proof that divine power moves through imperfection. The stone they throw becomes the seed you plant. Every insult thrown at you becomes another brick in the foundation of your greatness. Because while they talk about your past, you are busy creating your future. The truth always outlives the rumor. Those who mock your humanity today will one day quote your wisdom tomorrow. So do not fight to clear your name. Your light will do that for you. Continue to walk in integrity, and every false word will dissolve in the brightness of your divine purpose. 7. They manipulate scripture or truth to justify their control. They'll tell you, the Bible says, or God forbids, not to enlighten you, but to keep you obedient. This has been one of the most cunning tools of control throughout human history, using the sacred to enslave. They twist divine truth into chains of guilt and shame, shaping doctrines that serve power, not purity. The moment a chosen one begins to read beyond the literal and see the spirit behind the text, the system trembles. Because you see what others were never meant to see, that God's presence is not confined to a book, a building, or a man in a robe. The divine cannot be monopolized. You understand that Scripture is not meant to cage your soul, but to awaken it. Yet they fear this awakening because an awakened people cannot be ruled. When you tell others that the kingdom of God is within them, you destroy the illusion of dependency. You remove the middleman, and that threatens the empire built on ignorance. They will call your understanding blasphemy, not because it's wrong, but because it liberates. They need followers, not thinkers. But the chosen one carries a dangerous gift, discernment. You see through the letter to the living Spirit. You recognize that true holiness is not ritual but consciousness. When you speak this, those bound to dogma feel exposed. But that is your mission, to reveal that divinity was never far away, it was always within. That is why they fight you, because your enlightenment makes their control irrelevant. 8. They create distractions and temptations to break your focus. Once they fail to stop you spiritually, they attack your focus. Suddenly the path becomes crowded with temptations, opportunities that look divine but carry hidden chains. Fame, admiration, romance, wealth, even sudden success, All can become distractions if they pull you away from your inner purpose. Society understands that if it cannot silence you, it can seduce you. Many chosen ones fall here, mistaking temptation for blessing. The enemy rarely appears as evil, it appears as everything you've ever wanted. A compliment that feeds your ego, a relationship that drains your peace, a platform that slowly corrupts your authenticity. These are not coincidences, they are strategies. The higher you rise, the more subtle the traps become. That's why discernment is your greatest weapon. You must learn to look beyond appearances and ask, does this serve my mission or my pride? Every temptation is a test disguised as a gift. The world will try to lure you with gold so that you forget the glory you already carry. But you were chosen to master your spirit, not to be mastered by distractions. Protect your focus like a sacred flame. Guard your energy, your time, your silence, because the world will throw noise at you until you forget your song. Stay alert. Not every open door is divine. Some are traps designed to drain your light. True power lies not in saying yes to everything, but in saying no to what dims your purpose. Focus is your shield, and where your focus goes, your divine power flows. 9. They make you doubt your own calling. When all else fails, they target the last and most powerful weapon, your mind. They whisper doubts into your spirit. Maybe you're not chosen. Maybe you're imagining it. Maybe you've lost your way. These thoughts come subtly, often through people you trust. They'll question your purpose, mock your faith, or remind you of your failures until you begin to question the voice within you. This is their final tactic, because if they can make you doubt your divine identity, they don't need to fight you, you'll silence yourself. But remember this, chosen ones do not appoint themselves. You were marked before birth. You didn't choose the mission, it chose you. Every rejection, every betrayal, every delay was part of your preparation. You were being tested, not rejected. The doubts you feel are not a sign of weakness, but proof that you are near your breakthrough. The enemy only attacks what threatens him. So when the world begins to question your calling, stand taller. The more they doubt you, the more heaven confirms you. You were never meant to be understood, you were meant to be revealed in divine timing. When they mock your confidence, it's because they fear the authority you carry. So keep walking, even when your faith shakes. Speak light, even when darkness surrounds you. For the chosen one's journey is not about perfection, but persistence. The moment you stop doubting yourself, their control ends. Remember, your destiny was written long before they ever learned your name. The world has always feared the awakened soul because you remind it of what it has forgotten, the divine spark within. They will fight you, mock you, and misunderstand you, but none of that can change who you are. You are chosen not to fit in, but to transform. Every attack you face is not destruction, but confirmation. So hold your peace, protect your energy, and keep walking in truth. The same ones who rejected you will one day say, "We always knew there was something different about you." This is the Zillion Mind Channel. If this message found you at the exact moment you needed it, type 11 to 11 in the comments for divine protection, alignment, and strength. And if you feel the truth within these words, subscribe and stay connected. The awakening has already begun, and the world needs your light. Thank you for watching. There are things that happen in the lives of chosen ones that the world will never understand. Behind the smiles, behind the public appearance, behind the image of peace and strength, there is a sacred, private battlefield, especially within their marital bed. You see, when a chosen one is joined with someone in divine union, Whether through marriage, spiritual covenant, or deep soul connection, that bed becomes more than a place of rest. It becomes an altar where destinies intertwine, energies exchange, and battles are fought both seen and unseen. The chosen one does not just lie next to a partner, they lie next to energy, a frequency that either aligns with their divine calling or conflicts with it. That is why not every chosen one easily marries, and even fewer stay married without facing heavy spiritual storms. Before we begin, I want you to pause for a moment. If you have ever felt unseen spiritual forces disturbing your peace in relationships or dreams, or if you have ever woken up feeling drained after sharing your space with someone, then this message has found you at the divine time. This is not coincidence, this is alignment. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more messages meant to protect your destiny. And if you have received this message right when you needed it the most, type 1111 in the comment section for divine blessings and restoration in your life. Let us now uncover what really happens in every chosen one's marital bed, the things they rarely talk about but secretly endure. 1. Spiritual energy exchange. When a chosen one shares intimacy, it's not just physical, it's deeply energetic. Their body is a vessel of divine light, a carrier of sacred frequency that connects directly to the spiritual realm. Unlike ordinary souls, chosen ones are sensitive to energy on levels most people can't even imagine. Every touch, every embrace, every shared moment carries vibration. When they connect with someone, there's an unseen exchange, not just of affection, but of soul essence. Energy flows both ways. If the person they connect with carries jealousy, darkness, or unhealed trauma, that energy doesn't stay contained. It transfers silently into the chosen one's spiritual field. Suddenly their aura feels heavier, their clarity dims, their peace weakens. That's why after intimacy, many chosen ones feel confused, drained, or spiritually numb without understanding why. Their bed becomes the site of invisible exchanges, a place where divine energy collides with human imperfection. They begin to realize that every union, no matter how brief, leaves a spiritual imprint. And because their calling is divine, they cannot afford to mix their sacred energy with chaos. This is why chosen ones are extremely selective, not out of arrogance but divine protection. They know the wrong energy can dim their light, delay their destiny, or distort their spiritual alignment. For them, intimacy is not entertainment, it is covenant. Their body is not a playground, it is a temple. And so they protect it with the same reverence. They protect their purpose, because every exchange either strengthens their light or weakens their spirit. 2. Night visitations and spiritual warfare. Many chosen ones experience strange, almost supernatural sensations at night, the kind that logic cannot explain. Some feel unseen pressure, shifting shadows, or vivid dreams that seem too real to be random. This is because their marital bed often becomes a spiritual battleground, the place where unseen forces of light and darkness collide. When a chosen one sleeps, their physical body rests, but their spirit remains awake, active, and alert. The enemy understands that intimacy is a powerful portal, a gateway of energy that can be used for divine union or spiritual attack. After sacred moments of closeness, chosen ones often attract spiritual warfare in their dreams, nightmares, sleep paralysis, sudden fear, or exhaustion upon waking. These are not coincidences, they are targeted attempts to drain their divine power, to disrupt the frequency of love and purity that their union carries. Darkness cannot stand the glow of divine intimacy, so it attacks where the chosen one is most vulnerable, in rest. That's why some nights feel heavier, why some dreams feel like battles, why they awaken with tears, sweat, or trembling. They're not weak, they're warriors in the unseen. Even in slumber, their spirit fights. Their bed becomes an altar of war and protection, where angels stand guard and the spirit resists invisible forces. The chosen one doesn't rest easily, not because of fear, but because their soul was born for warfare. Every night they survive spiritual attack, their anointing strengthens, and though no one sees the struggle, heaven does, and records every victory. 3. The feeling of restlessness after intimacy. Chosen ones cannot fake peace. Their spirit always speaks truth through feeling. When energy is misaligned, their body reacts like an alarm bell. After intimacy, instead of calmness, they may feel restlessness, heaviness, or emotional disconnection. It's not guilt, it's divine sensitivity. Their spirit recognizes when the connection wasn't spiritually clean or mutually elevated. It's their inner radar, God's way of warning them that something is off. While others might brush off these feelings as random mood swings, the chosen one knows better. Their energy system detects imbalance immediately. They might find themselves unable to sleep, unable to pray clearly, or feeling an unexplainable sense of loss. This is their soul signaling that their energy has been compromised, that an exchange took place, but not all of it was pure. Their marital bed, therefore, becomes a space of revelation, not just romance. Every act of intimacy becomes a test of discernment. The chosen one begins to realize that their peace is the ultimate indicator of spiritual alignment. If the connection is divinely blessed, it brings calm, renewal, and elevation. But if it's rooted in desire without purpose, it leaves behind confusion and fatigue. That's why chosen ones treat intimacy with reverence, not fear, but awareness. They know their spiritual frequency is too rare to merge with energies that drain or deceive. Their restlessness is their soul's way of saying, "Protect your light." It's not punishment, it's protection. Through that awareness, they learn to listen, to withdraw when needed, and to guard their inner temple with sacred wisdom. 4. Dreams revealing hidden truths about their partner. Chosen ones are natural dreamers, guided through visions, symbols, and revelations that others dismiss as imagination. But their dreams are not random. They're messages delivered from the higher realm. After intimacy or marriage, the dream realm often opens wider, revealing truths that physical eyes cannot see. They may dream vividly about their partner, witnessing hidden emotions, secret struggles, or even dark influences interfering in the relationship. Sometimes the dream is clear, other times it's symbolic, but the message is always accurate. God speaks through dreams because chosen ones are sensitive enough to decode them. In the stillness of night, their spirit travels beyond illusion, revealing what's concealed by charm or pretense. It could be a warning about deception, or a reassurance of divine protection. Either way, the chosen one wakes up knowing something has shifted. They feel it in their soul. That's why many chosen ones keep journals beside their bed, writing every dream, every image, every whisper they receive in the night. Their bed becomes more than a resting place, it's a prophetic channel. Through sleep, God reveals alignment or misalignment, truth or illusion, light or shadow. Sometimes these revelations hurt, but they heal. The chosen one learns to trust the divine whispers of the dream realm more than words spoken by man. It's not paranoia, it's discernment sharpened by divine intimacy. Their dreams protect them, guiding them toward truth, even when their heart is still catching up. 5. Energy cleansing and spiritual purification. After intimacy, chosen ones often feel an unexplainable urge to cleanse, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's not guilt, and it's not ritualistic habit, it's spiritual maintenance. Because energy lingers long after the body separates, chosen ones feel the vibrations left behind. If the connection was spiritually pure, their energy feels elevated, peaceful, renewed, glowing. But if it was unbalanced or tainted, a heavy residue fills the space. Their bed, their room, even their aura feels weighed down. This is why they instinctively turn to prayer, meditation, or cleansing practices afterward. They might anoint themselves with oil, burn incense, speak affirmations, or pray for restoration. These acts aren't superstition, they're energy hygiene. Just like one bathes the body, the spirit too must be purified. The chosen one understands that their home, especially their marital bed, is a container of frequency. When left unclean energetically, it attracts confusion, fatigue, and even spiritual interference. That's why they keep their environment spiritually guarded, with prayer, with music, with divine words that elevate vibration. Every cleansing ritual is a way of resetting divine alignment, of removing any residue of fear, sadness, or other people's projections. For the chosen one, cleansing is sacred, a form of worship, a declaration that their energy belongs to God alone. They cleanse not to erase the past, but to ensure that only divine love and purpose remain within their space. 6. Divine presence and angelic protection. Because of their divine calling, chosen ones are never truly alone, not even in their most private, intimate moments. Their marital bed is not merely a place of rest, it's sacred ground, often visited by divine presence. When love is pure and intention is aligned with God, the atmosphere shifts, the air feels lighter, peace becomes tangible. There's a warmth that fills the room, a sense that unseen eyes are watching, not in intrusion but in guardianship. Angels stand guard around their bed, forming a circle of light to protect their union from intrusion, temptation, or spiritual attack. These beings of light ensure that the chosen one's rest remains blessed, and that their connection remains sanctified. Sometimes, the chosen one senses this presence, a sudden wave of calm, a soft whisper in the silence, or a feeling of being covered by divine peace. It's not imagination, it's the manifestation of divine watchfulness. But the chosen one also knows that this same presence can withdraw when darkness enters, when sin, deceit, or spiritual impurity creeps in. The warmth fades, the air turns heavy, the peace dissolves, and restlessness takes over. This is not punishment, it's divine warning. The chosen one instantly feels the absence of light because their spirit is highly attuned to the heavenly realm. Their bed mirrors the state of their relationship with God. When love is pure, angels dwell. When energy is tainted, light retreats. And so, chosen ones strive to keep their marital union sacred, praying before rest, speaking life into their space, and inviting divine guardianship daily. Their bed becomes a temple of purity, a sanctuary of presence, and a place where heaven meets earth in stillness and light. 7. Prophetic revelation during intimacy. Few ever speak of it, but for chosen ones, even intimacy carries divine messages. Their connection is not just carnal, it's cosmic. During moments of deep vulnerability and union, when the body, heart, and spirit are aligned, they often receive prophetic revelation. It may come as a sudden thought, a flash of insight, a vision that passes through like lightning, or a whisper in the spirit. This happens because intimacy opens portals, not only of emotion, but of spiritual transmission. When two energies merge, information flows freely between heaven and soul. For chosen ones, this moment can unlock divine downloads, messages about destiny, direction, or warning. Sometimes, they see the path of their future. Other times they sense what their partner truly carries, their pain, purpose, or hidden spiritual state. It's as if love itself becomes a conduit of revelation. But this is also why purity matters deeply for chosen ones. When the energy connection is impure, distorted, or rooted in lust, those same portals invite confusion, deception, and spiritual interference. Instead of clarity, they receive chaos. Instead of revelation, they feel drained. That's why chosen ones understand that their bodies are not just instruments of pleasure, they are instruments of prophecy. Every sacred act of love is a spiritual covenant that either builds or breaks divine connection. Through intimacy, destinies can be activated, visions can be conceived, and divine energy can be transmitted. That's why for chosen ones, love is not random. It's sacred technology. It's a channel where heaven speaks through human closeness, where spirit and flesh unite to fulfill divine purpose. 8. Testing of faith and patience. For the chosen one, marriage is not merely companionship, it's a classroom of the soul. God uses their relationship and even their marital bed as a tool for spiritual refinement. Their partner becomes both a blessing and a mirror, reflecting their strengths, weaknesses, and hidden wounds. The intimacy they share is not only emotional but also transformational. At first, everything may flow smoothly, passion, peace, and connection, but soon tests arise, moments of silence, emotional distance, or misunderstanding that shake the foundation of their patience. These trials are not punishments, but divine lessons. God allows them so the chosen one can evolve beyond ego and comfort. The marital bed becomes a place of surrender, a sacred arena where humility, forgiveness, and compassion are tested. Sometimes they feel lonely even while lying beside their partner. Sometimes they pray silently through tears, wondering why love feels like warfare. Yet in those moments their spirit grows. Their capacity to love expands. Their heart learns that divine love isn't always about feeling good. It's about staying grounded in purpose when emotions waver. The chosen one discovers that marriage refines more than just character, it shapes destiny. Through endurance and faith, they gain wisdom, empathy, and divine maturity. Their love life becomes a living sermon, proof that even sacred unions must be tested by fire before they shine as gold. Every struggle strengthens their anointing. Every silence teaches surrender, and every test prepares them for the kind of love that mirrors heaven, patient, pure, and eternal. 9. Spiritual covenant and destiny activation. When two chosen souls unite in truth, their marital bed becomes holy ground. Not just a place of affection, but a portal of destiny. Every act of love becomes a sacred covenant that binds not only their bodies, but their purposes. In that sacred union, energy synchronizes with divine frequency, aligning them with heaven's timing. Prayers become more powerful, visions more vivid, manifestations more rapid. When they touch, creation responds, because their connection carries divine agreement. It's not just love, it's prophecy fulfilled. But this very power is why the enemy attacks chosen unions so fiercely. Darkness knows that when two divine energies align in truth, their light multiplies exponentially. Their union births abundance, purpose, and legacy. Therefore, the enemy sows division, temptation, or misunderstanding to break their alignment. Yet every chosen couple that endures becomes unstoppable, a living example of divine partnership. Their marital bed becomes both battlefield and altar, a place of warfare and worship, where destiny is conceived and renewed. When they pray together, heaven moves. When they love purely, healing flows through generations. Their energy opens portals of favor, creativity, and divine acceleration. This is why chosen ones guard their union fiercely. They understand that it's more than romance, it's mission. Their love carries prophetic weight. Their covenant is heaven's signature on earth. And when two chosen ones unite with pure hearts and divine intention, the entire spiritual realm takes notice, because something eternal has been activated. Their bed becomes a temple of destiny, where purpose breathes and divine will manifests through love. So if you are a chosen one who has faced confusion, strange experiences, or heavy dreams around your bed, you are not crazy. You are chosen. Your energy is sacred, your presence is divine, and your union carries power the world cannot comprehend. Guard it, cleanse it, protect it. and never let anyone defile your peace. This is the Zillion Mind channel. Type 1111 in the comments. If this message came to you at the perfect divine time, and may your home, your bed, and your spirit be surrounded by light, love, and angelic protection. Thank you for watching. There is a power that lives within every chosen one, a sacred, magnetic, divine energy that when fully mastered becomes a force of creation, healing, and manifestation. But when this energy is uncontrolled, it can destroy the very person it was meant to elevate. Sexual energy is not just about desire, it's the raw life force, the same energy that creates galaxies, ideas, and destinies. Many chosen ones walk through this world carrying enormous spiritual potential but remain unaware of how their unmastered sexual energy exposes them to spiritual attacks, emotional chaos, and internal battles that delay their divine purpose. If you've been feeling drained, confused, or stuck despite your spiritual growth, it might be because your most powerful energy is leaking through lust, addiction, or unhealed attachments. Before we begin, take a deep breath. This message is going to awaken something deep inside you. If you found this video at this exact moment, it's not by accident. The divine is calling your spirit to rise higher, to reclaim your power and purify your energy. These words will reach only those who are ready to understand the truth behind their own inner struggles. So, before we continue, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, because every week we go deeper into the mysteries of divine awakening, self-mastery, and spiritual protection. And if this message has reached you at the right time, type 1111 in the comment section below as a sign that divine alignment and blessings are now flowing into your life. 1. They attract energy vampires like magnets. When a chosen one hasn't yet mastered their sexual energy, their aura becomes like an open flame, beautiful but unprotected. People who carry heavy, draining, or lustful spirits are drawn to that light the same way moths are drawn to a candle in the dark. They can sense your radiance, your unrefined power, and your divine potential that has not yet been anchored in discipline. This energy feels intoxicating to them. They may not even consciously understand why they feel so compelled to be near you, but on a spiritual level, they sense nourishment. You become a source of energy that fills the emptiness within them. These energy vampires often come disguised as lovers who promise passion, friends who seem fascinated by your essence, or admirers who shower you with attention. But what they are truly seeking is your essence, the sacred life force that makes you magnetic. You'll notice that after certain encounters, you feel tired, emotionally heavy, or strangely detached from your spiritual core. That's not imagination, that's spiritual depletion. It's energy theft masked as connection. Until you learn to channel your sexual energy upward into creativity, purpose, and spiritual alignment, your light will continue to attract those who wish to feed on it rather than protect it. The true mastery lies in discernment, knowing when to share your energy and when to guard it. When you finally reclaim control of your sexual power, you become untouchable. The same energy that once drew parasites will now repel them. Your light remains bright, but it becomes sacred fire, powerful, contained, and protected by divine intention. 2. Their dreams become distorted and dark. When sexual energy remains unrefined and unguarded, it doesn't just affect your waking life, it seeps into your subconscious realm, the dream world. The chosen one who hasn't yet mastered this force may find themselves having strange or erotic dreams, battling unseen entities, or waking up feeling spiritually violated, disoriented, or ashamed. These experiences are not random. They are the spiritual consequences of leaked, untransmuted energy. The astral plane is sensitive to vibration. When your energy radiates unrestrained desire or guilt, it becomes a magnet for lower frequency entities. They feed off that untamed energy because it's raw and unprotected. In the dream world, boundaries blur, and your spiritual body becomes exposed to forces you may not yet understand. These dark dreams are not meant to terrify you, but to alert you. They signal that your inner temple needs cleansing and discipline. Before sleep, what you consume, whether it's media, emotions, or thoughts, sets the tone for your dream realm. If your mind is filled with lust, anger, or fear, you invite those vibrations into your spiritual house. But when you purify your energy through meditation, prayer, fasting, or stillness, your dreams become portals of divine revelation rather than chaos. The key is to remember that your dreams mirror your spiritual hygiene. Guard them as you would your sacred space. As you rise in mastery, your dream world will no longer be a battlefield, but a sanctuary where divine messages flow freely and your spirit rests in peace. 3. Their manifestations take longer to appear. Uncontrolled sexual energy is one of the greatest disruptors of manifestation for chosen ones. The same life force that can build empires, heal, and attract miracles is also the energy that can scatter into nothingness when misused. When this energy is spent on lust, fantasy, or meaningless indulgence, it weakens the spiritual magnetism required for manifestation. You might find yourself praying, affirming, and visualizing with all your heart, yet nothing seems to move. That's because your spiritual battery keeps draining before it can power your desires into reality. The creative spark that God placed within you is being wasted through temporary pleasures that yield only spiritual exhaustion. This creates a frustrating loop. Your faith feels strong, but your results remain stagnant. Your thoughts become unstable, your focus fractured, and your vibration inconsistent. You can't build a kingdom with scattered energy. Manifestation demands concentration, intention, and sacred retention. When you finally learn to channel that same sexual force into purpose through movement, creativity, service, or prayer, your manifestations begin to accelerate rapidly. The energy that once left your body now circulates through your spirit, fueling clarity and alignment. Suddenly, doors open, timing aligns, and miracles flow naturally. The universe doesn't withhold blessings from you, it simply waits for your energy to stabilize enough to hold them. Mastery over your sexual energy transforms your manifestation power from a flickering flame into a roaring fire, steady, unstoppable, and divinely focused. 4. They experience sudden mood swings and emotional confusion. Sexual energy is not limited to physical pleasure. It is the essence that ties your body, emotions, and spirit together. When this sacred energy is misused, wasted, or scattered, it leaves the chosen one emotionally unbalanced and spiritually fragmented. One day you feel unstoppable, creative, connected, and inspired, and the next day you feel empty, lost, or anxious for no apparent reason. This emotional turbulence is not random, it's the echo of misdirected energy. Every unguarded encounter, every unhealed attachment, and every emotional entanglement leaves energetic residue within you. You begin carrying pieces of other people's emotions, desires, and memories, energies that don't belong to you but now live within your field. This is why chosen ones often feel drained after intimacy or certain connections. It's not just physical, it's spiritual exchange. Until you learn to reclaim those scattered fragments through fasting, solitude, prayer, and energy cleansing, you'll continue to feel emotions that aren't even yours. The emotional confusion you feel is your spirit's cry for purification. The more you align your sexual energy with self-control and spiritual purpose, the more emotionally stable and grounded you become. You stop being a sponge for other people's energy and start standing in your own divine vibration. Once balance is restored, peace returns. The same energy that once caused emotional chaos becomes your source of serenity, confidence, and inner power. 5. They lose clarity and spiritual discernment. One of the most dangerous effects of unmastered sexual energy is the gradual erosion of spiritual clarity. The chosen one, who cannot yet control their urges, begins to lose the ability to discern between divine truth and deception. Their intuition, once sharp and deeply connected, becomes muffled by desire. The whispers of God get drowned out by the noise of temptation. Lust becomes confusion, and confusion leads to poor decisions. Trusting the wrong people, chasing the wrong opportunities, or mistaking emotional highs for divine signs. This is one of the enemy's oldest tricks, to distort your perception through desire. When your energy is clouded by unrefined passion, your spiritual senses become dull. You begin to justify what's harmful, entertain distractions, and walk paths that pull you further from your calling. But when you reclaim your sexual energy and anchor it in purity and discipline, your discernment returns with divine precision. You can feel deception before it speaks. You sense manipulation before it moves. Your spiritual eyes reopen, and the fog lifts. True mastery doesn't mean suppressing your desires. It means owning them, transforming them into wisdom, and refusing to be ruled by them. When you can say no to temptation, not from fear but from awareness of your own sacred power, you become unstoppable. You no longer chase clarity. You embody it. 6. They develop addictive patterns. Chosen ones who have not yet learned to master their sexual energy often find themselves trapped in cycles of addiction, sometimes obvious, other times subtle. The addictive behavior doesn't always take the form of lust or physical pleasure. It often morphs into other distractions that deliver the same temporary dopamine hit. You may find yourself endlessly scrolling through social media, seeking validation, chasing attention, or overindulging in entertainment and stimulation. Deep down, what you're craving is not the activity itself, but the feeling of fullness that comes when your energy is aligned with divine purpose. Yet, because that energy is scattered and undirected, your spirit seeks substitutes, things that make you feel alive, even if only for a moment. The danger lies in how deceptively harmless these patterns seem. They numb you, pacify your restlessness, and delay your growth without you realizing it. These addictions are spiritual distractions, clever traps designed to keep you disconnected from your divine essence. At their core, all addictions share one root: the inability to sit with one's own divine power without escaping it. When you finally stop running, when you allow yourself to feel the intensity of your own sacred energy without needing to release it through stimulation, something miraculous happens. That same energy begins to transform into focus, discipline, and spiritual strength. You start to experience joy without needing constant external triggers. The chosen one who learns to master this transformation moves from dependency to dominion, from being controlled by impulses to commanding them, and in that moment every addiction loses its grip, replaced by divine freedom. 7. They attract karmic relationships. Until a chosen one learns mastery over their sexual and emotional energy, life will continue to send them karmic relationships. Unions designed not to comfort but to teach. These connections often appear magnetic, intoxicating and spiritual at first glance. The chemistry feels divine, the timing feels fated, and the emotions run deep. But beneath that intensity lies the mirror of your unhealed self. Every karmic partner you attract reveals the parts of your soul still bound by desire, attachment, or insecurity. These are not coincidences. They are divine appointments arranged to refine your soul. You attract what you have not yet mastered. In these relationships, you will experience highs that feel heavenly and lows that feel devastating. The pain, confusion, or betrayal you face is the universe's way of awakening your awareness. These partners come to expose what still needs purification. Whether it's your need for control, your craving for validation, or your tendency to mistake passion for purpose. And though it may hurt, every heartbreak becomes holy ground for transformation. Once you finally learn the lesson, once you reclaim your power and stop outsourcing your worth, those karmic patterns dissolve. You stop attracting people who drain you and start magnetizing souls who expand you. When sexual energy is mastered, love evolves from obsession to expansion, from lust to light. The chosen one who has integrated their lessons becomes a mirror of divine love itself, whole, healed, and magnetically aligned with relationships that reflect their higher self rather than their wounds. 8. Their creativity becomes blocked. Sexual energy and creative energy are one and the same. Both are forces of creation, expression, and manifestation. When this energy is wasted through overindulgence or misdirection, the chosen one feels an inexplicable creative drought. You might sit down to write, paint, build, or pray, but nothing flows. Your ideas feel dull, your inspiration fades, and your connection to divine creativity weakens. This is not because you've lost your talent, it's because your creative current is being drained through instant gratification. Every time sexual energy is spent without purpose, the sacred fuel that powers creation diminishes. For chosen ones, this is especially painful, because your purpose depends on your ability to channel divine inspiration into tangible form. You are meant to create, not just art, but healing, impact, and transformation. When that channel becomes blocked, you feel disconnected from your calling itself. The good news is that this blockage is never permanent. The moment you begin to discipline your sexual energy through self-control, meditation, fasting, and creative transmutation, that same energy begins to rise. It no longer leaves your body, it begins to circulate within you, igniting your mind, opening your heart, and awakening divine insight. Suddenly, creativity flows effortlessly again. Ideas come in waves. You feel inspired, alive, and deeply connected to God. The very energy that once fueled lust now fuels genius. Your art becomes more profound, your presence more magnetic, and your work more impactful. Mastery over sexual energy is not suppression, it is redirection. When that happens, your life becomes a living masterpiece of divine expression. 9. They delay their divine elevation. Perhaps the most sobering and frightening truth of all is this. When a chosen one fails to master their sexual energy, their divine elevation, their promotion into purpose, is delayed. God, in His infinite wisdom, does not elevate a soul who cannot yet protect the power they carry. Every temptation you face is not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. Each time you resist temptation, you strengthen spiritual muscles needed for the next level of destiny. But when you keep giving in, you delay the process. You can't carry divine authority while still being ruled by earthly impulses. This delay doesn't mean rejection, it means refinement. God is patient with His chosen ones because He knows what's inside them. Every setback, every repeated cycle is an opportunity to learn control, awareness, and reverence for the sacred force within you. The same energy that can create life, art, and miracles must first be purified through discipline before it can be trusted with power. Once that mastery is achieved, your entire frequency changes. The energy that once caused downfall becomes your divine engine of creation. You become unshakable, radiant, and fully aligned with your higher calling. No longer are you tempted by what once enslaved you. Instead, you walk in authority, transforming the same energy that once drained you into the very power that propels you into destiny. That's when elevation happens, swiftly, divinely, and unmistakably, because God promotes those who have proven they can protect the light they carry. This is the Zillion Mind Channel. If this message spoke to your soul, understand this: there's nothing wrong with your energy. It just needs direction. You are meant to rise above impulse and embody divine discipline. The more you honor your sacred energy, the more the universe will honor you. So take your time, heal, meditate, and remember, the most powerful chosen ones are not those who suppress their energy, but those who master it. And if this message came to you at the perfect time, type 1111 in the comments for divine alignment and blessings. Your awakening has already begun. Thank you for watching.